Planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Honey, I dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. This fielded at the 2.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Reset, 19. Mike, 49. On the ball. Check. 24.
On first down, Watson. And Thomas has it. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Watson on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Colts take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100-plus in this one in order to stay in that race.
On second down, it's Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On first down, Hines. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off play action. Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now Johnson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 49's the mic.
From the gun on third, Watson. Flush to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. On first down, it's Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Watson on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Watson and the offense going to come up first and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. From the red zone now, Watson forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Watson to throw on third down. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First down, Colts.
On first and 10, Love flushed out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Throwing on third and long. Love. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Love. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
4-yard loss brings up 2nd and 14 at their 49-yard line.
40 set, 19.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Love. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham able to record his 5th sack of the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. On 4th down, Love. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tashaun Gibson. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
It's 3rd down and 12.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's go, defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Houston, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Colts, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.